Hello, I had One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Z as my banned book, and the novel has been banned, challenged, and removed at various high schools all across the country, including states like Oklahoma, Idaho, New York, and Ohio, where they claimed that the novel glorified criminal activity, had bizarre violence, torture, dismemberment, death, and human elimination. Ken Kesey was the author, and he was a well-known figure of the countercultural revolution during the 1960s, and he supported LSD, which is a drug that he started taking in experiments he volunteered for at the Millennium Park Veterans Hospital, where he worked, which inspired him to write One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And he also believed that LSD had great positive potential. So, this book is about a hospital ward, the mental hospital, where the narrator is one of the patients, Chief Brondon, who kind of sees and hears everything because everybody there believes him to be dumb and deaf. One day, a new patient arrives, who's McMurphy, and he interrupts the quiet, submissive life of the other patients. In doing this, he undermines Nurse Ratchet's "she's the ultimate dictator" rule, which sets her off and commences a battle of power versus will on the ward. This goes on throughout the story, beginning with small things like McMurphy taking over the ward through gambling, playing card games, and small things like that, which escalates to voting on the ward and punching through glass just to defy the nurse. As he defies the nurse's ironclad rule, he brings the patients back to their individuality, and along the way he does receive electroshock therapy for fighting, and he also attacks the nurse and does all these things that eventually allows the patients to realize that Nurse Ratchet's rule is awful, and it also destroys Nurse Ratchet's rule and breaks down the ward till everybody is released, which comes at a cost. McMurphy's life, as he ends up with a lobotomy for his rebellion. So the motif or symbol that I chose from the book was machinery. So descriptions of machinery are used to represent society's power and destruction of individuality within and outside the ward. Nurse Ratched, society's influence within the ward, is constantly described as machinery. Swelling up big as a tractor, so big I can smell the machinery inside the way you smell a motor pulling too big a load. As machinery has specific pieces that go in specific places for it to function properly, Nurse Ratched views her ward as the same way. She expects all the patients to abide by her rule so as to fit into the society once again, like a part of a machine. Her machine-like presence serves to strip her of individuality and keep her power over the men, thus stripping them of their individuality. Her feminine, femininity, femininity is also concealed by her clean uniform appearance. Whenever the patients leave the ward to go fishing, Chief observes a town and its severe lack of individuality. 5,000 houses punched out identical by a machine. The houses look so much alike, with identical kids who live in them. Now the machinery is shown in the outside world and society. It is revealed how little individuality there really is. People are expected to conform and live robotically to be functional members of society. The sad and unfulfilling life that those on the outside live is the exact reason why the patients are in the ward. They cannot be controlled by normal means. In one review from 7 Billion Words was that Kesey's writing style is beautiful and artistic, but still easy enough to understand that the reading process was actually enjoyable. From the very first page of this book, I was intrigued, and even through the slower parts of the story, there was such a great underlying element of suspense that I could not put this book down for too long. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest combines an interesting plotline, intriguing setting, and cast of characters that I grew quite attached to. This is not just a good work of literature, it is a good story. And also, the design for my poster is meant to look sort of clean and kind of futuristic, or you could say machine-like, which represents the hold that society has over us and how it wants us to conform and removes individuality, which, as the patients were green, the green represents the patients and how they are stripped of their individuality by Nurse Ratched. And here is my works cited.